YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be taking a look at my first impressions of the Nike Infinity Run Flyknit 2. This is a shoe I have been anticipating for months and months, ever since I realized they were going to revamp the upper after a lot of criticism from the users. So I was excited to give this shoe a go, and we're going to find out my initial impression right now. The Nike React Infinity Run Flyknit 2 is an innovative neutral running shoe that features a supportive and energy-saving design made to handle daily miles with ease and save legs from overuse injuries. So that all sounds pretty good. It's pretty much exactly what they were saying for the marketing going into the original version. I think most people enjoyed the midsole foam ride and the outsole. They haven't really changed any of that. What they've really done is they've revamped the upper completely. So did the upper revamp really make the shoe any better? Well, we're gonna find that out today, so let's get into it. Starting with the stack height. So the stack height is coming in at 34 millimeters in the heel and 26 millimeters in the forefoot for a total heel to toe drop of 8 millimeters. Pretty standard. That didn't change from the other shoe. It's interesting because I know Running Warehouse, where I get kind of the stack height information from, they have them noted as different, but when I hold the shoes up next to each other, you can pretty much see there is zero difference between the midsole makeup and design. So I don't really know what's going on there, and I really didn't notice a difference in the handling of the midsole at all. I still really enjoyed it in the first one, and I really enjoyed it in this one. And the stack height, it's not different, so you don't really have to worry about that when you're getting into this shoe. Coming in at 9.9 ounces in a men's size 9 and an 8.5 ounces in a woman's size 8. This shoe actually gained a little bit of weight compared to the 9.7 ounces in a men's size 9 that the original had. And you can kind of see that just in the makeup of the uppers, but I'm gonna say that that little gain in weight is well worth it when you take into account the improvements in the fit and the lockdown of the shoe. So let's take a look at that right now. So the fit, I'm gonna say still go a half size down. That's what I did, and I'm far more comfortable in an 11 than I am in my true size 11 and a half. The lockdown's just a little bit better again. You just don't feel yourself slipping as much in the front. Nike's known for being slightly narrow. I'm gonna say if you have a wider foot, you may not enjoy this shoe as much, but as someone with a narrow foot, I enjoyed the fit in the toe box. The heel definitely didn't rub anything. It felt pretty good, and the lockdown over the top of my foot felt pretty good as well. But with all of that aside, I know everyone is really interested in the changes to the upper, so let's get into that right now. So Nike is still calling this their Flyknit Loft upper, but it is completely revamped from the original, as you can see right here. It just feels different in every way, shape, and form. I know I said in my original review, this shoe would have been great if they just put a traditional upper on it. The biggest problem was just the upper and the fact that your heel kept sliding out, and it felt like you could never quite get a comfortable fit across the midfoot. And did they fix the lockdown issues? Yeah, they did. The fit is much improved across the midfoot and definitely in the heel. In my first run, I had very few issues with heel slipping. It locked me down super well. You can tell that was a point of focus when Nike revamped this shoe. It definitely locks down in my midfoot better as well, and I think that's due to a smoother lacing system and a slightly more comfortable tongue that's barely even a tongue. The tongue attaches essentially right to the upper Flyknit Loft material. The heel counter is definitely a little stiffer, and I think that actually contributes to a better lockdown for me, but overall, the fit and lockdown of the shoe, much improved, and it was actually super fluid and comfortable when I was lacing it up and slipping it on for the first time. Let's move on to what is still one of my favorite parts of this shoe, and that is the midsole foam. This React midsole foam is like the epitome of what I want React midsole foam or any training foam to feel like. It's slicked back, it's super lightweight, and the energy return combined with the nice subtle geometric rocker material in it is just a perfect blend of awesomeness. I really enjoyed the TPU heel clip. It kind of guides my foot just a little bit, adds a subtle amount of stability, and the midsole foam is pretty nice in the way it guides you from heel to toe off. The shoe is still pretty fluid, moving side to side, and if I'm gonna do that durometer test, you can kind of see that foam is still pretty mushy. We'll have to see how far it smushes down as we get more miles on it. And that's something I actually noticed in comparison to the OG, which I've gotten probably about 100 miles on, running on it off and on since I got it. The foam is definitely smushed down a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing if there are any or all improvements that'll make sure this foam doesn't smush down quite as much. Moving on to the outsole, they are using a strategically placed rubber outsole. It helps with grip and durability. They've made 0 changes, and that wasn't a point of contention for me in the OG shoe. It's not now. I think, again, the comprehensive nature of it definitely contributes to a little extra durability. Do I think they could have stripped some of it to lose a little weight? Yes. Do I care a ton about that? No. As a daily trainer, I think 9 ounces, almost 10 ounces, that's light enough for me. I could care less. Maybe you guys care a little bit more, and that's fine. They could probably lose a little weight in the outsole in the next iteration of this shoe. Moving on to my positives and drawbacks of the Nike Infinity Run Flyknit 2. For my positive, I'm gonna say this shoe's React foam is still a godsend. I like how it feels. For some reason, it just works really well with my stride and how I run, but I gotta give a shout out to the updated upper. The lockdown is just much improved, and as someone who is almost scarred by all the heel slipping in this original, I could say I really enjoyed not caring about it or not noticing any slipping at all or any lockdown issues. So big shout out to Nike there for actually listening to some user feedback and trying to improve the shoe. I gotta give them a thumbs up for that. For a drawback, I'm gonna say it's gonna be the bunching of the upper when I lace it down correctly, and also just a little bit of low volume over the top of my toe box area. I had that issue in the Nike structure I ran in, and comparatively, I'd say it was kind of similar. My foot didn't fall asleep in this one, but I could definitely feel a little restriction in my toe area. I can't wait to see if it breaks in a little bit as I run in it more, but we'll find out more when that happens. Durability prediction, I'm still gonna pit this shoe at between like 5 to 6, maybe 700 miles of pretty quality running. That React foam is super resilient, and the comprehensive outsole is gonna contribute to the durability for sure. Moving on to what I think this shoe is best for, I'm gonna say daily training, long runs, medium steady runs, probably some tempo runs, and maybe even some long rep track workouts if you're not too worried about the pace. It's like I could take this on a track and run like tempo mile repeats or 2-mile repeats in this and have very little issue. That lockdown is nice, and the React foam gives enough energy return where you can get away with some running, and maybe I'll even test that for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you all want me to put my money where my mouth is and see if I can run a quality track workout in this. Light me up in the comments. Let's see. Moving on to the price at $160, that's super steep. I think you can get a ton of great shoes for a lot cheaper than that are gonna get you plenty more quality. As an example, I've been running in this Nike structure a lot, and this is only $120. So is the Infinity React Flyknit 2 $40 better than the Nike structure? I don't think so. So I think that's something to consider when you're buying this. I think $160 is super expensive for a daily trainer, but since I bought it, I'm gonna be enjoying miles on it. Overall, I think the Nike Infinity React Flyknit 2 is a vast improvement over the original, especially regarding the lockdown and the fit over the upper. And I really can't wait to get more miles on it. That about does it today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're enjoying the content and want to see more videos like this, please feel free to like, subscribe, and smash that bell button. And until next time, y'all know the drill. Stay healthy, stay chill. Cheers, friends.